I recently got my hands on the new Traxxas Mini Maxx, quite early as well compared to the rest of the world by the looks of it, and I had a lot of fun. And at the end of that video, I said we're going to put more power in it and properly test it. Well, that is what we're doing today. We're putting the Traxxas VXL system in it, 3S capable. This should do about 50 miles an hour, and we're going to send it. But before all the excitement, we'll just go over some of the requests and questions in the comments from the review video. There was a lot of comments on size comparisons. I compared it to the Grom and I compared it to the Black Zon Smiter. But there's your pretty regular MJX Hypergo. This one isn't the Hypergo, it's a slightly different one, but same thing. You can see it's a fair bit bigger than that. There was more than one comment on the Savage XS. That is bigger than the Mini Maxx. It's also way more of a tank. I have done a video on this. It's crazy fast and it's pretty durable too. Lots of people saying the Rolalo Omni Terminator is a better buy. I mean, it's much better value, yes. But again, it's not really the same size. It's wider, taller, and longer. But yes, it is very good. And I think there was a couple of comments on the MT10. It's way smaller. Well, not way smaller, but it's smaller. It does have the same wheelbase though as the Summit. This one is the VXL Summit. Not actually done a video on this. I bought it ages ago. Broke a drive shaft when I was just messing about outside my workshop and I've not got around to doing anything with it. Traxxas called that 1/16 scale. If you've seen the 1/10 Summit, they're probably right, because the 1/10 Summit is massive. They've not put a scale on this, but it's called the Mini Maxx because the Max is a little bit bigger and then the X Max is even bigger. So I guess if they go smaller than this, they'll have to call it the Micro Max. A lot of comments on the price. The reason I didn't mention the price in the video, it's a Traxxas. What's the point in mentioning the price? You know it's going to be expensive. You know it's going to be more expensive than anything else in the same sort of category. If I mentioned price, there'd be even more comments about it, and there's no point. It's a Traxxas. It's going to be expensive. But that doesn't stop people buying it. I'm not sure on the rest of the world, but if you ask anyone in a UK hobby shop that stocks Traxxas, if they're honest with you, they will probably tell you that Traxxas outsells everything else by quite a bit. If there was other questions, you might find I answer them later on when I'm doing stuff. But the final one, someone asked if the tyres or the wheels and tyres were different between front and back because they're different part numbers. And the answer is yes, they are. Not the wheels from what I can see, but the tyres are different. I said in the review video that the tyres have got quite a hard compound, but the rear ones, I don't know if I can show you visually. Yeah, I can. You can't grip the front like that, but I can get hold of the rear ones. The rears are softer. If you take a front wheel off, it's got an F on the inside. And the tyre has also got a blue spot on it, whereas the rear ones don't. Every day's a school day. So out of the box, these have the brushless BL2S system. It's a relatively new thing that they've started swapping over some of their brush stuff to this. It only run 2S. I'm pretty sure it says somewhere on the website that you can fit the VXL system and it'll do about 50 miles an hour. So it's really easy to get the motor and ESC out of this, and I thought it's going to be a relatively easy swap and just, well, plug and play. So if you look here on the stock one, this is where the ESC bolts to. You got a little like thing that slots into the chassis there, and then you got a little one there. So you got that one and you got that one. Now the holes on the ESC that come out, they look like that, and the VXL has just got 2 tabs on it. And you see there's an extra bit there, and then there you can see it looks like they put a thread just in the actual body of the ESC. So the VXL doesn't go straight in. Adapt and overcome, as they say. There is, however, holes that line up. So I presume when they do, or if they bring out a VXL version, it'll have slightly different like caps that go under the chassis. Couple of screws, couple of nuts on there, and it bolts right in. And the rest of it was just plain sailing. Motor goes in fine, put the stock 20-tooth pinion on, and it all goes in there nice and neat. I've not got the end cap on this motor. I took it off for another car, but you will be able to fit the VXL that has the plastic end cap. There's enough room down there for it to fit. I'm pretty sure the motor KV of the VXL is the same as this 2S one. Strange can this, it's a vented brushless motor, really strange. Anyway, I'm pretty sure the KV's the same. No point running it 2S, we're going straight to 3S, and this is how fast it is. So we want to know 2 things. Will it go in a straight line, and how fast is it? Well, it's certainly got way more power. There's a learner driver sat right where I want to go. So we'll do a short pass first, make sure we can get the power down. Whoa, full throttle. That's rapid. I did get full throttle for a little bit. I think it was still picking up speed though. Full. Yeah, plenty of full throttle action there. I think I got enough space there to get completely full. 47, nice. It's a little bit cold today. I reckon on a warm day with maybe a slightly better battery, that's a 50-mile-an-hour car. It's got so much power. Needs a wheelie bar. Right, finally, after about 6 million years, they've moved out of the way so I get a full run in. I still don't think it'd do more than 47, but we'll give it a go. Full throttle. It is really stable. Really stable. Takes that power really well. Fly by. Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Don't hit my car. Whoa! I forgot that was there. Just your average UK street. A burnt out mattress. Stopped it pretty well, didn't it? Nothing broke. I don't think it did anyway. Anyway, what was that? 48, nice. So not quite 50 mile an hour. That's the battery I was using. These are actually decent batteries, but slightly better battery, warmer weather. I'm pretty sure it would do 50 mile an hour. Now the next bit was sort of like a warm up for when we were going to the skate park, and it, well, didn't end well. Absolutely crazy. Oh. Too crazy for this surface. Uh-oh, what we broke? We're front wheel drive. No way. What we done to it? Ugh. Looks like the rear diff has completely exploded inside. Every single gear in there has got teeth missing. Even these ones that don't look like pot metal like these ones are, completely ripped all the teeth off. So there you go. That's what killed it. Now what probably didn't help was with all that power, all the self-righting I was doing or trying to do. I don't know how many times I tried to self-right it. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, and that wouldn't have helped. But still, maybe that VXL is just a little bit too much for it. Anyway, luckily, I've got some spares, so I'm going to stick a new diff in and we'll keep going. Another question was wheel hex. They're just standard 12mm hexes. Well, they look like standard 12mm. Can't really see anything different about them. The inner rim, decent size as well. I think it's about 2.5 inches, 65mm. So you should be able to get some decent wheel options with that, like snow paddles. I think this snow's a bit too soft. That was not as great as I thought it was going to be. What are your predictions then? How many battery packs we're going to get through? So not a massive, well, it is quite a big skate park, but probably a level 2 skate park. Some big jumps, but nothing crazy. And still a fair bit of snow about. Now it's interesting they went for softer tyres on the rear, because what that does is the rear tyres balloon way more than the front. Well, I mean way more is probably an exaggeration, but the rear tyres balloon more. So that's got to affect how it rotates, or just generally the handling of it. I mean, I've not seen anything obvious, but I wonder why they went for that as well. More traction at the rear. Oh, man, that body. Oh, come on. Front wheel drive again. No way. Has it destroyed that rear diff again? Ugh. Good job I brought some tools and a spare. This one's already donated the rear diff, so getting the front out now. Well, there we go, a quick diff change. That diff that I'd put in there, that I'd replaced it with, was out of the stock one that I ran in the first video, so I don't know how well that was. This new diff is the front one out of that stock one, so it's probably had a little less load on it. I'm going to try my hardest to not land on power, and I'm not going to do any self-righting. Try and see if we can actually get some jumps in. Because I can't test the durability of this if it just blows the diff out every time. God, I switched off. The tree was a bit closer than I thought. Oh, there we go, look. It's broken again. I wasn't even on the throttle when it landed. No way. Well, we're done. We're done. Absolutely done. How's it braking so easy? Front wheel drive. Oh my word. I drove a little bit further out than normal to go to that skate park. I thought that you might like some different scenery. And I got through 70% of one pack. 30% left in this, 2 diffs, and we had to come home. I was obviously way too confident because I took 3 packs, which would have been probably well over an hour's run time. Anyway, here's where we're at. If you watched the first video, you'll know why. Well, I've got 4 now. I did initially have 3. I had a spares car, I had 1 to run, and then this one, brand new, and there's a link in the description where you could win that. That's why I had 3, but because they come in 4 colours, I thought, well, I better get the green as well. And it's lucky I bought another one, because this one, still got a nice clean black body shell, which was on that. This is the one from the original video. After a nice bit of bashing, we did have a big heavy hit and, well, it broke. That was the stock original one that had this orange body on it, which actually has held up pretty well. It's a bit trashed at the back end there, but it's, yeah, this body is the one I've used for both videos, apart from a little bit in the snow with the green one. Now this chassis was the one that I bought as a spare. I didn't use any spares off it, so the VXL system went into a brand new one. So the first diff it destroyed was brand new out the box, and like I said, the second diff was the rear one out of the spare, so that had some use. It may have already been slightly damaged, but it was a used one out the rear of my original stock one. This is going to get confusing, isn't it? And then the third diff, 3 rear diffs we've destroyed in probably a pack and a half. The third diff was at the front of the original stock one, so probably not as much load on it, and I've not taken it out yet to see what the problem is. If you're wondering what the second diff problem was, it was exactly the same as the first. Completely destroyed the internals. So anyway, the blue one, that's for you guys, brand new boxed. The green one is now my new box stock that hopefully should last a bit. And the VXL one, I'm not doing anything to it now until there's a solution to them diffs, because that is a major problem. And this one, well, just stay as spares. Now the reason this could potentially be a major problem is because yes, we've overpowered it, but they advertise the VXL system as an upgrade for it, and well, as you've seen, it's too much for it, too much for them diffs. I mean, no doubt that the chassis is pretty tough. We did break it on a hard hit, but it's a decent tough chassis. Even the stock one, I don't know whether that rear diff is going to survive more than a handful of packs if you're sort of bashing it like quite hard. That is a diff out of a WL Toys, a 12 scale and a 14th scale WL Toys. Cheap, pot metal, metal internals. I have run these things up to nearly 100 mile an hour. Other people have run these things and put power systems in it, like 150 I think. I've jumped them at skate parks and dirt tracks, and I don't recall ever breaking one or even like stripping the crown gear. That is the one out the Mini Maxx. That is the one out the WL Toys. This is a big 10th scale one. This is a tiny little thing. That should not be breaking that easy. The Armour Grom also had an issue with the rear diff breaking, and yeah, less powerful, lighter, etc. But even converting these to brushless, they didn't destroy the diffs in less than a pack. Well, not that I've seen anyway. I really like these, stock out the box. I had a lot of fun with it. It held up well. I really liked it, and I feel almost a little bit cheated that I've now done this conversion and it's just completely let me down. If you want one, keep it stock, and hopefully that rear diff isn't going to be an issue on the stock ones over time. If you want to go VXL, probably need to wait until there's a solution.